Hey guys, today I want to talk about how much protein you need to intake for jiu-jitsu. If you're happy with your muscle mass right now, or you're making excellent gains right now, just please keep on doing what you're doing. Keep it going. Just keep in mind that there's no such thing as maintaining in fitness, particularly for muscle. When it comes to muscle growth, it's either your body is in a anabolic state where it's creating muscle, or you are in a catabolic state when you're breaking down muscle. There's no happy median between the two. Okay, it's either the light switch is on, you're making muscle, or it's off, you're breaking muscle down. And this brings us to the next person, where you're the person that you're training really hard, and you're either losing muscle mass, or you're at a state where you actually just want to gain muscle mass. If you're one of these people, there's a few things that you need to determine. And back to the notebook here. Ask yourself these questions. Let's see. Are you training hard enough and smart enough to stimulate muscle growth? Are you getting adequate rest? And my last note, are you getting in your micronutrients through your diet to help in your recovery process, your vitamins and minerals? So if you answered yes to these three questions, now it's time to talk about your protein consumption. First thing to do is to figure out how many grams of protein that you're taking in a given day. And so hopefully your diet's somewhat consistent. You can do this. There's plenty of apps that you can get for your phone, or that you can just punch up on your computer and to enter your diet, and it'll spit out how many grams of protein you're having a day. The next thing to do, once you have a number of total grams of protein, let's just say you determine that you are exactly average 100 grams of protein per day, okay? And you're not gaining muscle, you're losing muscle mass. What you want to do is up your protein intake 10%. So take it up to 110 grams of protein. And then from there, over the next week or so, make sure it's consistent. Keep on a relatively stable diet, and you make sure you're getting your protein consumption in. And with that 110 grams of protein, see if you're adding muscle mass or gaining strength. And if you are, okay, you found the range where your body is going to respond to and be able to gain muscle mass, and you're taking an adequate amount of protein to get that done. So if you're still not gaining muscle at 110 grams per day over the, say, course period of a week, 2 weeks, what you do? Add another 10%. So take it up to 121, or whatever, say 120 grams of protein, and see if you start gaining strength and getting muscle mass with that. Doesn't work again? Add another 10%. Eventually you're going to hit a number where you're going to start putting on muscle mass. So this brings us to our third and final possibility. So are you eating too much protein, or you're overly muscular for BJJ and want to shed muscle in an orderly manner? Or if you're happy with your muscle mass but just want to see exactly what is the minimum amount of protein that you need. Because let's face it, guys, again, from my past as a bodybuilder, protein is expensive, and if you need only 100 grams a day, there's really no reason that you should be eating 200 grams a day. You're just throwing money out the goddamn window. So to find out how much protein you actually need, and you're not over-consuming protein for no reason, just do everything I mentioned before in reverse. Find out how much protein you take in a given day, approximately, average over the course of a week, and subtract about 10% of that. And if you're still making your gains, or keeping around that steady weight that you're happy with 10% less, super. Okay, you're going to be able to save money in a week. And then if you still want to go, cut another 10% off. Okay, you're still holding on to muscle, and everything's great, and business as usual. Fantastic. Keep on going until you find a place where you actually start losing strength. Okay, and then it'll give you kind of an approximation of where you're at. So when you find out approximately where you start losing muscle, just go back up to the last protein intake. You do not lose muscle, and that's all the grams of protein that your body needs, at least for that point in your life. Here's the thing to keep in mind, guys. There is no set calculation on how much protein people need. Okay, things are going to vary from person to person. I mean, activity level is going to play a role in how much protein you need. Your body composition as well. And I'll give you for instance here. It's just, let's say a 200-pound male with only 10% body fat, so pretty low body fat, is actually, when you compare him to a 200-pound male with like 20% body fat, the person with less fat and more muscle, they are actually going to need more protein. And this is something I kind of discovered back in my bodybuilding days. But your body at the less, when you have less body fat, actually has less sources to draw energy from. You don't have as much fat stores, for instance. So it's going to take from places like muscle. So in my off season, even though I was heavier, I actually needed less protein than when I was cutting down in my diet for the show. When I actually had the less body fat, my body was really starting to pull using protein like crazy for energy. So, and which is protein in your body, that means taking from your muscle mass. So not good. And the mentality you definitely want to avoid is just like, oh, well, I'll just eat as much as possible. It won't hurt anything. Blah blah blah. You know, it's not the case at all. Okay, protein requires that you really stay hydrated if you have a high protein diet. And so if you say, for instance, if I were to have like 400 grams of protein or something insane like that, essentially you just scorch your kidneys. And the thing is too, the excess protein has to go somewhere. Either you're going to be removing it from your body as waste, or it's going to convert into fat. Odd thing is, and this is because the freaking goddamn fitness industry is a bunch of bastards and pushing shit, you're not going to need as much protein as you think, okay? At 215 pounds, I only have about 165, 170 grams per day I average in a given week. And that's fine. My weight doesn't vary more than like 3 pounds plus or minus right now. So all this bullshit about, you know, you need 1.5 grams per pound, you're just fucking wasting money. So please just, get that out of your head. That's it, guys. I really do appreciate you watching, and as always, if you haven't yet, please subscribe here. We'll talk to you soon. Os.